Hammers up, everyone. Tally here. Another Shadowlands dungeon, brand new. Mists of the Tirna Scithe and Arden Wheel dungeon. I believe this is the leveling dungeon. Prot Paladin action here. Sped up the video a little bit from my stream footage. Pretty awesome dungeon. Skybox is amazing. Mobs are very unique. Pretty easy on the trash though. First time through here. Playing with the boys. This Tirnan villager, just enchanted pollen cask out of the way. Now those soul cleavers are pretty nasty. There's a bunch of casts, a lot of magical damage going on in this dungeon, and I pretty much enjoyed the majority of it. It's only 3 bosses, and a very interesting boss, annoying boss to me, but other people will love the shit out of it, which will be the second one. But so far, the first 2 dungeons we've encountered with Necrotic Wake and Halls of Atonement have been pretty short, but with like 4 or 5 bosses. You know, it's like kind of like first boss, a shit ton of trash, and then it's like boss. This one is kind of more spread out, so you do clear a lot of trash. There are actually a pretty cool amount of skips in this dungeon if you have stuff like herbalism. I didn't show it here because nobody had herbalism, but in this beginning area, you can actually skip this entire trash pack that we just did. If you start off on the left side, there's like a little bush, and it says requires herbalism to break. You can break it and then walk right through. That way it's a little bit of a skip. And once again, lots of skips here. I tried to skip my way through here. These harvesters with their bolts hurt like a motherfucker. So I was like, all right, so you know, I'm speccing the holy shield to prevent that kind of damage. Prot Paladin obviously feels good in dungeons. High Shield of the Righteous uptime. You know, everyone's still kind of, you know, learning all their classes and specs or whatnot. So the damage does seem a little bit excessive, but not too much. I thought I couldn't handle with a simple little Word of Glory. I did spec Holy Avenger because I just like that kind of burst damage for bosses. And Holy Avenger is kind of to me like a wasted talent in endgame because you're going to generate so much holy power in general. As a Prot Paladin, that you don't really need Holy Avenger. It's almost like I think it's a wasted talent unless you want that kind of damage burst on maybe tyrannical bosses or you know, trash or ads during a you know, mythic raid encounter. But so far, I've kind of just been using Divine Purpose. I missed Divine Purpose, so using it again is pretty awesome. So we're about to counter the first boss here. Pretty interesting encounter. It's a two mob boss fight. So the way this works is the big, lanky, I don't know what you want to call them in Arden Wield. By the way, I love Drust. I'm so glad to see these Drust models. They look so damn good. So yeah, Dormin, or Dromin, Olferon, and Igna Malik. So Igna Malik casts a Spirit Bolt. They want to interrupt. That actually hurts when we let it go off. So the point of the fight is to DPS down the big forest-looking Arden Wield thing, and then that will make the main boss take 200% more damage. So I was holding on, as you see, I'm holding on Holy Avenger and Wings until this happens, and then bam, we pop Holy Avenger, pop Wings. You can see the holy power just like extremely generating. I'm like pressing everything. Shield of the Righteous, Shield of the Righteous, Shield of the Righteous. Hammer of Wrath actually just got buffed. So Hammer of Fuck Your Face just got buffed for this build, so I was really happy to see how much damage it was actually doing. And then Tears of the Forest, bunch of AoE on the ground. Move out of it. Make sure you interrupt the boss to go with you, so it doesn't get stuck in the AoE. And other than that, it's a pretty simple fight. Embrace Darkness, another ability, big AoE there. Force Compliance. That's how you make the boss take more damage. So the boss right now is entangled in these little weeds, and we just DPS him down. I think it's like a 10+ second window of, I think, like 200% more damage you're doing. This boss is going to be really rough, I think. Reminds me of the first Underup boss where you have to really rotate your interrupts for that Spirit Bolt because it might just like one-shot a tank on Tyrannical 10 to 15, 20, whatever it may be. There was a trinket that dropped finally. So now we're going to go to this like little maze here. And this maze will kind of prep you for the next fight. So this little minx of a fairy, I don't know what they're officially called, Night Fae Fairy, I don't know, will basically put these shrouds around you, like different avenues to take. So you have to figure out which one of these little pillars is different from the other ones in the form of icons, like a leaf or a flower or whatnot. And this is going to be hell for pugs, I think, because it's going to take, I think, some time to figure all of this out. So you can see we're trying to figure out which is the opening we have to go through. When you get near one of those little logs, It'll just show you like a leaf with a circle, a flower with a circle, and whichever one is not like the others, you use that one. I'm not sure how we actually activate it. I guess you just stand by it. I wasn't able to click it or anything, and then we went through. Now this trash, a few little hard mobs here, not too bad. Like when I think about doing a dungeon on normal, I think about what is this going to look like on Mythic, right? I think everyone does the same thing. So oops, don't get lost. So if you click the wrong one, it just kind of teleports you back. But I think that we're thinking it was a bug. We actually were stuck in some really like insane loop where we weren't able to get through certain ones. And it just kept porting us back and porting us back. So there's a leaf with a circle, a leaf with no circle. And then there should be another one somewhere. There you go. So the leaf with, there was probably two other ones. We just picked the right one. I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm thinking an add-on like DBM might just tell you what to do. All right, so the Spear Flurry is a frontal cone. You definitely want to just get out of the way of that. Tender's Heal, make sure to interrupt that. And then I believe the Guardians do like a bucking rampage, kind of like the ads during the Vexiona fight. You don't want to stand in a circle or else you're going to get knocked back or just die. So there's a leaf. There's a flower. And then we're checking the last one over there. There's a leaf with a circle. And then it ended up being this one. So like I said, it'll take some getting used to. But every trash mob here was about 4 to 5 trash. Nothing too crazy, nothing insane. But yeah, that bucking rampage, probably monks are going to be really good with Rop or any monk with Rop, Ring of Peace, aka, to get rid of those or stuns. War Stomp is a Tauren, HOJ, whatever is a Paladin. There's probably tons of stuff you can do. Typhoon, you name it, to get those guys to stop doing their little casts there. So yeah, Tenders, and I think the Stingers were pretty bad as well. Let me see, what did the Stingers cast? Let's see, the Spirit Flurry, Frontal. The Shaper, oh yeah, the Shaper had an interrupt. I think they either had a heal as well. Yeah, Nourish the Forest, that had to be interrupted, which we did. So yeah, pretty good, pretty organized group we had here. Interrupts were on, we're off the goddamn Gancho. They were off the chain. And we fucked up. As you can see, and you can see my reaction in the lower left. I was like, oh, come on. Come on, bro. Now, I don't think this is the run where we were infinitely stuck. I also wouldn't have chosen this one. But I'm not sure how you actually mess up. Because I've clicked on several logs and been like, all right, well, I don't see how we're fucking up. So there's still bugs. So here we go. Mist Caller. Now, the Mist Caller will do the same damn abilities that we just encountered, but then she will do something called the guessing game, and then it is on. It is on at that point. We're gonna see here once we start, and off we go. Mist Caller. She'll do a frontal called, I believe, Dodgeball. Dodge that. An interrupt ability where she disorients the tank. Patty Cakes, that was interrupted. Now 70%. You do guessing game. So here we go. So now you got to figure out which one of these is not like the rest, right? So we're looking around. There's a flower with a circle, and we figured all the other ones are leaves, right? So since all the other icons were leaves, the flower was the one that was kind of like the odd one out. So you DPS that one down. If you DPS the wrong one, it's kind of like Skitra. You explode, right? It's not good. So we see here, let's see, leaf, flower, leaf, flower. But that leaf had a circle on it. I think the other ones did not have one on it. And then there's also another ability where she spawns an ad that fixates you. You can just stun it and DPS it down. You'll see her cast it, I think, one more time. Freeze tag, it's called. There you go. So HO Jade, the Illusionary Vulpin, DPS down to Vulpin. That's over. And then finally, there's the last one. So as you can see, I think the other ones all have circles around them, and this one does not. Or wait, or is that the case? I'm not sure why that one worked. I might have to like slow it down later and figure it out. But that's what you have to do. Out of all those 4, I guess pillars, flowers, whatever, you have to figure out which one is unique and different than the rest of them. So Tirna Scithe, that's the name of this new dungeon, and it's very Loa related. I didn't really get to the lore of it yet, but it has to do with the Loa of knowledge, I believe. So these ads, by the way, look pretty awesome. I mean, once again, dude. I mean, can we all say in YouTube comments? Can we give a hammers up to the art team for World of Warcraft? They have been carrying WoW for probably the last 3 expansions hardcore. So on our way to the last boss, you could do a couple of things. You could pretty much either go left or you go right. And we chose to go right because we did this a few times before this run. So on different tanks. So we went left. Peace, idiot. Oh, man. You can't love them enough. And the last boss is going to be a pretty interesting fight, I think, on Mythic Plus. It's going to require a lot of coordination, and it's going to require a shit ton of healing. It's not so much of a, tank damage encounter. More or less, is everyone has to be responsible for their own actions, shit under your feet, fixated ads, stimulate resistance. I think you just want to interrupt that. That one's easy. That was a no-brainer. Here, I started trying to look around to see if there's any kind of shortcuts to get to the last boss. Because the last boss is pretty much, I want to say it's the same exact model as Gahun. Just, looks way better and way more badass. But if I find the Warcraft logs for this, I'll post it in the comments so you guys can see, like the kind of damage a Ret Paladin, a Warrior, Mage, and a Prot Pally were doing. Even the Holy Paladin, Terran Coat there, was doing some pretty good damage. I think on some fights almost beat out some of the DPS and the tanks myself, obviously. So here we go. We're going to get through this trash. A lot of this trash reminds me of Uldir, by the way. Trash. These little ads. Definitely Uldir. A lot of Uldir references to me in this dungeon. So here we go. Tredova. We're going to start this puppy off. And I think I just go balls to the wall at the beginning. We had Lust here, which is really nice. Yep. We just go balls to the wall. Balls to the wall. So Acid Spite or Spit. Got out of the way of that. Mind Link connects two players. You have to separate yourself from that other player. Consumption. Puts a shield on the boss. Got to get rid of that shield and dodge all the AoE. So it is a Mark to Prey. Mark to Prey marks a player, and all those ads on the right, all 5 ads will flock to that one player that it targeted. I tried taunting off. You can't actually taunt them off. Maybe as a monk, I might try Statue in the future. So I'm not sure if Statue is going to work for that as well. But yeah, Consumption is probably the worst one because everyone's taking a massive amount of nature damage during that. But with a good Lust, they should be able to burn. A big control fight, I think, on Mythic Plus. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out on a tyrannical level, higher key. But yeah, Gahun 2.0, Ardent Wheel style. Mists of Tirna Scithe, new dungeon, leveling dungeon in Ardent Wheel. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Twitch.tv/Tally, always covering the alpha content along with the other great content creators out there on Twitch and also on YouTube. I got a weapon, and there's a shield that the healer got. And then I did open Warcraft logs for a bit, just so I went over, kind of like, I always, there is no add-ons. There was add-ons, but they disabled it because Blizzard, no fun, Blizzard. Little vape rip right there, Vape Niche. And yeah, the mage wants to see his fat pyros, so once we have the logs, and obviously, this guy posts logs in the chat. We're like, dude, in Discord, please. And I'm here just trying to figure out where the logs are. And yeah, so I went over all the fights, did pretty well on that fight right there. That one wasn't too bad on the last fight. Had second on the second fight. Yeah, man. Judgment, that Hammer of Wrath action from the buffs. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe. I'm going to be posting videos every week, at least one per week, to keep you guys up to date, entertained. Next videos are going to be on the new Torghast classes, Hunters, and Monks. Peace out. Have a great time. Stay safe, please. Don't lick toilet bowls and shit. Thank you.